How's it going? Today I wanted to talk about my free-to-play boxing team. Juby did a video on it as well on his channel, but I thought I'd cover it here, and I've improved the luck a little bit, just like tinkered around with it, and I wanted to explain why I choose to run this team and not some other ones, because there are some really great teams out there that people are using. But yeah, let's do a run so you can at least see the mechanics of it before I talk about it and why I basically only run Boxing Club. That's the only thing I'm farming right now is Boxing Club. And a lot of that reason is because of how efficient you can make your team, a speed team, very early on. There are hardly any gear requirements, like real gear requirements on every unit on this team except for the tree bookworm. Basically everything else you just want to stack as much inspire as possible so that you get your bookworm doing the damage that you need it to do, and then speed tune the rest of your team to move to lap the boss and apply those dots. Yeah, so very easy to gear relatively. Like, if you run, the time's going to be extremely inflated because I'm running on my PC, which is much slower than my phone. Alright, so let's start with the tree ninrat, which everyone knows about. Everyone wants the tree ninrat. It's one of the most important units to pull. If I could give you guys some, I would. Oh my gosh, I have like, let's see, wait. I have quite a few tree ninrats, so yeah, I please game, stop giving me more. Thank you for the first one. That was plenty. Anyway, yeah, so you want your tree bookworm to go first, be able to one-shot waves. My bookworm is a little bit higher damage than you actually would have to get it. I think it's like around 3k, like you want plus 2k attack, and then like around 195 per damage, something like that. You can play with the numbers a little bit, and you can always stack more inspire sets to get that higher damage that you're looking for. But I will say the gear requirements for this, and you basically have to skill up the skill 3. You have to for this team, so that is a thing as well. But with most speed teams, and you're going to be using bookworm for a lot more than just Boxing Club, so definitely worth building, just regardless. Like, one of the best units for AoE damage in the game, so worth building regardless. So I have her moving first, followed by the tree ninrat, and then you gotta have at least, I think, 75 accuracy and then 85 crit rate, since you need it to crit on here. And then I think a lot of people are actually missing this because in some other games it would not take accuracy to extend all debuffs, but you do actually need the 75 accuracy to extend the debuffs, the dots, which is why your tree ghost captain is not extending those dots and then one-shotting if you have the tree ninrat and it's just doing like half damage, half the health or whatever. Yeah, it's because you need to stack that accuracy on there to actually be able to hit those dots. But yeah, just basically focusing luck. Like, I have luck rolls on every piece of gear I have, except for my tree bookworm. But anything that can have basically no stats, like, this unit is only here to do one thing. It doesn't really get hit. It doesn't need like crazy tankiness or damage or anything like that. You can just stack as much luck as you can on it with the required stats and speed tuning. Clockwork moves last in the team, and you basically want 70 luck at least for the skill 3 to always do 3 buffs. So, and you need that because you need 4 buffs for the boss not to glance, or you could run a rune set, or a gear set, I'm sorry, on your Ninrat and your Ghost Captain, which I will talk about later. This guy moves 4th in the team and only moves on the boss, and his role is to basically cleanse your team, because if your team gets retaliated, if your Ninrat or your Ghost Captain gets retaliated in the first rotation, then they can get frozen. And so this guy cleanses that off and grants a speed buff. So that's the 4th, that is the 4th buff that you need so that the boss does not retaliate. So that's why I'm using him. It's very strong and a great unit in so many different parts of the game, so I suggest you build him as well. You don't even necessarily need to 6-star him. The only unit I would suggest you have to 6-star is the Bookworm, and then you probably should 6-star the Ninrat for the speed lead. But other than that, you actually don't need these units 6-starred. I wanted to talk about that gear set that oh, well, let's do some polls real quick. This is how my brain works. I can't just do one thing. I'm everywhere. I'm scatterbrained all at once, all the time. All right, we got some sparks. Let's go. Come on. Oh, okay. 9 HP is a high number. Attacks an enemy 3 times with each attack. Remove 1 buff. Afterward, grant all allies 3 turn defense up. Could be interesting. I'll probably check that out, but realistically, I'm not planning on building that anytime soon. I suggest you focus on your PvE teams first. And I think you should just do boxing, really. I think you should just stick with boxing. There are so many great teams you can make with boxing, and even lower level, I can show you a different team that has a lot lower gear requirements and has a very similar time. It's just a little bit slower. But I wanted to tell you about this gear set that I think a lot of people are missing, that is going to make your team faster if you can get that gear requirement going, which is steady, glancing rate minus 12%. And that works on the boss, so you can have 2 fewer buffs on your units and still have it 100% glance rate, 100% not gonna glance, which is amazing. So you can run like a set of what's it called? The shield set. Wait, I've never used it, so I'm like totally blanking on the name. Is it? Wait. Freedom ambush. I know it's not that, and I don't think it's this. I think this is like resistance or something. Wait, am I blind? Protect. I think is that defense? Yeah, okay, protect. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Yeah, anyway, so you can run a protect set that plus that gear set, and you're already at 17% glancing, which some people are running just as enough already, but I don't suggest doing that, just because that 3% will hit you sometimes and you will lose a run or two. It's really not worth it, in my opinion. But yeah, I wanted to tell you guys about this because I think a lot of people have missed this, that the glancing actually does work on the boss. But I did want to show you a more budget option, which puts the Clockwork, I believe, first. But I might have to make him, let's see, if I put him first, this, and then, because I was running the 3 buffs, and if you put the steady sets, okay, if you put the steady sets on here, you don't need all the Inspire, then they won't glance, and with 1 fewer buff, so you can run Tree Steel Wings. I think I have him in here. Yeah, this guy. You can run Tree Steel Wings and make him move before the Tree Bookworm. So you need way less stats because you get that attack buff off the bat, which is insane. It's really good, and it's still a very, very fast team, very viable, very good. I think when you're really getting into those speed teams, then you should probably run that. You should run the tree steel wings. This is more of a later game team when you can afford the rune requirements or gear requirements. Oh my gosh, for that bookworm and all the inspire sets, and still make the team work, right? And I also wanted to talk about why I'm running this instead of some other teams. So for example, this one, the glancing rate, because it has the set, protect, and then the glancing. So that's a 17% reduction. So he still has a 3% chance to glance. And then this guy has, the steady. So it's 17% because the shield is spread on everything, which is still really good. Your bookworm has to be pretty high power as well, because you're getting that fewer number of inspire sets. So you have to run, instead of running one inspire set, you'd have to be running that extra set of steady, I believe is what it's called. And it still has that percent to glance, that percent to miss. So that's why I'm not running that. And also my option is a lot more free to play, since you need to pull these two Nat 4s as well versus the Nat 3s that I'm using. And some of these teams have a different time than if you were to use it normally, because I think running it on an emulator as well speeds up the time. I wonder where my team is, because it's faster than these. It's interesting. I don't know. I probably just haven't gotten a quick run recently or something. I really don't know, because I've been running things on my computer. But it's faster than a lot of these teams. Shout out Twitchy, awesome YouTuber, great guy. Also a guildie. But yeah, this is my team. I've got it to 300 luck, so it's absolutely fantastic. I would never go back from just prioritizing Boxing Club and getting those fast pieces of gear. Those swift gear is just fantastic, and then all the inspire sets are so good for every dungeon in the game. You slap on inspire sets and you're not going to regret it. Like, such fantastic PvE option, and great for PvP as well, especially on like attack bar boosters. You can do like Swift Inspire, which is what I run on my main attack bar booster. So it's great, and it's so easy to get that high of luck on this team. Just because the gear requirements for everything except for the one damage dealer on your team is so low. And it's very friendly to a newer player trying to get into getting decent gear and decent damage gear, because if you farm one of the other dungeons, like the one that gives shock, it's much harder to get a very fast run on that dungeon versus this one, which gives you fatal, and then I'm forgetting the other one right now, like rage or something, the 12% crit rate and the 20% attack power. Those gear sets are fantastic for damage dealers. I am using that on my bookworm, and I have one of the better bookworms I've seen, and that's all from boxing. Like, you get speed from boxing, you get damage from boxing, and you get great support runes from boxing in the Inspire sets. So boxing has basically everything you need. Later on, you can get into like heavy metal and farm those zeal runes. It's really nice to have a few sets of zeal runes, extremely nice. And I think Echo actually has a lot of potential that people aren't seeing. I think Echo gear sets are going to actually start taking over a lot of the gear meta once people start seeing how good Echo really is. But as far as starting off and trying to build your gearbox and trying to actually be able to do every other dungeon in the game, because this is such a good jumping off point to farm every content and do well in arena with your gear sets. Speed is king. Speed has always been king in these kinds of gacha games. It's very, very important, and this dungeon gives you the speed runes, or speed gear. So I mean, why wouldn't you want to farm this? So, and why I'm not farming the grinds and the conversions and that kind of stuff to actually augment the gear that you get, like a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are farming those augments to change around their gear very early on, like super quick, which makes their gear look quite flashy and cool, and they got big stats or whatever. But it's so inefficient to grind these contents and upgrade your gear when you are going to get such better gear in the future and such a large amount of really, really fantastic gear, especially when you start stacking luck, which is not a grindable substat. So if you just get a bunch of great gear, focus boxing, at least this is my strategy, is focus boxing. Don't worry about the grinds, don't worry about augmenting all of your gear, just focus on getting great base gear so that you can change it up later, play the long game. You won't regret it, seriously, you will not regret it. Get a solid base, a solid foundation for every other content in the game, and you can do that through boxing. You can make speed teams for every dungeon from that jumping off point in boxing. So that's my strategy, and that's what I think has propelled me into endgame so quickly, or late game. The game is still new, so I don't think anyone is really endgame yet, in my opinion, but we're getting there, and there are certain ways to progress that are much faster than others, and I believe focusing boxing and really just hammering home boxing and getting like a couple zeal sets, but you don't need to make a speed team for that, other than the free-to-play speed team in my last video. That is a fantastic team, and I run that sometimes for zeal sets now so that I can actually get that immunity to play some turn 2, because bruisers are very strong in this game. So playing that turn 2 is very important to be able to do, and zeal makes that very possible against a lot of these CC comps that are extremely fast. But overall, focusing boxing, I think, is definitely the way to go. You don't even have to concern yourself with making a bunch of different teams. That's honestly a waste of resources, a waste of time if you're not going to be farming them. Just like focus boxing, get good gear, just farm the heck out of it, try and get as high luck as you can. I prioritized getting a lot of speed, and then around like 180 luck, 190 to 200. That was like basically what I focused on, because I wanted to balance the amount of speed I could get in the dungeon with the amount of luck, because I wasn't that worried about complete efficiency in each run. I was worried about the total efficiency in the amount of time that I've spent in the game. And those are two very, very different things. And I very much prioritize fast tracking in real time my progression through the game. So that's why I was able to get higher in PvP, is because I chose the maybe slightly less inefficient in slightly less efficient in energy wise, but still it was still great. Like I've still got great gear and in low amounts of energy, but just really prioritizing that amount of time, the ratio of luck to the amount of time I've spent, because I don't believe in these like 370 luck teams that take 5 minutes to do. It's not worth it. It's not, in my opinion, it's not. I know free-to-play players, it's good to get like a really high luck in a slow team, but if you're running like 5-minute runs with high luck, like, I don't know, I'd rather do something else personally. That's my opinion, and that's my strategy for this game, and what I think is going to be very, very good to really propel you into that later game stage very quickly, and quicker than a lot of other people, so that maybe you can get that edge on PvP before everyone has Lightbearer. Or wait, no, that's already happened. Everyone has Lightbearer. Except for me. Everyone but me has Lightbearer. And Lightbearer is... Okay, I can't rant about Lightbearer two videos in a row. That's not good. Alright, anyway, thank you for watching. I don't think I have too much more to say about my team. If you have any questions though, please just comment about it. I will reply. And I also made a little Discord server because some people were asking about it. So I made one. I've never made a Discord server in my life, so it's very archaic, but if you wanted to stop in, it's in the description as well. So anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.